Said what's up, bitch, what's at it? Bitch, try to suck on my dick, on my tip, it's 640 right click, the grip of my grip of my hollow point tip, the lip, because it's so on my way, bitch, move it, fuck it up, I got with too many bangs, probably studied up, but what I got in my veins, nigga stomach, fuck, they keep a strap up on my waist, I got a hollow tuck, like damn, move out my way, got new money, come on, bitch, that my paper, leave you said, swear to God, catch your case, new with no keys, electric race, like what the fuck, you bitch, you check, you fake.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Of course, this is going to be the third day, at least for the time, and the final day rather, for at least for the time being, of Theory Gaming. This is going to be Series 11, and $130 going to be on the line. This stream, at least my end, is going to be on YouTube only. There's going to be another streamer, that being Uncle Blood, taking on Trovo and casting his POV and his casting over it. We are going to be co-casting together, and yeah, this is going to be hopefully an exciting time. This is going to be Blood's first time, I believe, casting BR, so this I'll be quite interested to see on how he plays out. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and begin. So first game now, already. Quickly. Losing a lot of HP. Chiz and Morlik both losing a lot. Currently with the M16 out of all things. We wouldn't expect too much of that gun. But surprisingly enough, it is going to be doing a hefty amount of damage. I'm waiting for Blood's stream. Ooh. He's doing his little introduction. I'm waiting for his introduction first. And then once he's done, we go straight into it. I don't know if he wants to he prefers solo casting or he does duo. But I know my presumption, it's duo. But thanks God, actually going to be the first one going down. That's a Red Moon, legend in trade. It's quite quickly, it's going to be an ecology. Not sure which team these are. Team 3, this may be the dude. OS, indeed it is. Going to be losing one, but they did confirm Zombie Duck. Actually as well, legend, left to 2. Going to be actual no snitch. They're still playing a bit aggressive on this, even though they're down the advantage. And they are going to be looking to back up. But Nat still on the chase, but looks like luckily enough Red Moon aren't going to find the vehicle, going to be leaving the area, don't want to be involved whatsoever, and they are going to be looking to be just fine. Ooh.
The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute.
Hiya, Blood.
Hello, how's it going?
Doing well, how's you? Now,
I'm doing fairly well as well.
excellent. Now, of course, this is going to be your first time casting BR. How, what do you kind of expect coming into this, especially with a first time casting a BR in terms of Call of Duty Mobile?
To be fair, I'm more expecting to get used to, you know, the spectating things, the spectating, how do you call it? Like, navigating the map and everything else, because it's my very first time doing it. But when it comes to the action, obviously I'm trying to see what are the strategies, the hot strategies the majority of teams go for in BR scrims, because the only experience I've had in Call of Duty Mobile BR so far has been playing it myself, and well, playing ranked is completely different to playing at this particular level.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, there's going to be some of the top talents from multiple regions. We're going to have the Middle East, EU, and even NA participating in this event. Now, we have already had 2 series previous days on this, being the 9th and 10th series. So far, been quite a few spectacular plays. There's been a couple 1v4s, and currently, it looks like it's a couple of those actually stronger teams are actually going to be taking some fights, that being FG and Risen, currently in New Vision. But in terms of the map, do you actually, like, you generally have an idea of the map and how it's, in terms of like, the locations and everything?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the map. Obviously, I do play it as well. Not as much as multiplayer, but I do play BR as well. Gotten a legendary a couple times myself.
Excellent.
But, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then yeah, in terms of players, this lobby is going to be quite stacked. We have, again, quite a few pretty big names in the scene. Of course, we're going to have AMK, which has been one of the strongest teams for at least the longest time. Following close behind is going to be Risen. That's, of course, going to be slot 5. Unfortunately, they're down by 2 currently. Left to Lag and Claude. Not sure what they're going to have to do, but it looks like they're just going to be fine. Rotating away, not going to be entirely wiped. FG, though, still on the pursuit. Chasing with vehicles, even. This may be a bit of an awkward situation. Claude's going to probably have to sacrifice Lag. Going to die immediately to Koost. Left to Lag.
Airdrop has been delivered.
You know, jumping into the, like, it's my very first time jumping into a, what do you call this, a scrim? I don't know, a tournament?
Tournament.
Nevertheless, I was not really expecting these kind of pushes. These are really the pushes you'd see in a ranked game. So seeing this in this kind of level, I'm particularly impressed, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more action.
100%. So, in terms of the plays that we've seen so far, we've had a 1v3 from one team, particularly from a player called Legend. He managed to get a 1v3 against one of the strongest teams, that being Risen. Risen is probably one of the highest regarded currently, as they have won quite a few of the more larger Prizepool tournaments as of recently, of course, Mobile Mayhem, and it's been, of course, very spectacular for them. They've had a really good amount of chemistry as of recent, and so they're probably the ones that are going to be eyed up the most, though they have yet to win any, I believe. I think last, well, Series 10, it was AMK taking it, and then Series 9 was FG. So the question is Risen, are they going to manage to take a victory for Theory Gaming? I'm not sure.
It would surely be an achievement. We'll see how
100%.
things are going to go. I'm currently looking at Team J. They just picked up an airdrop. So I don't know how much of a benefit an airdrop is when you have, you know, the specialists being banned, such as Annihilators and stuff like that. But
yeah, it's
really
mostly
the
just going to be for
perks
those
are-
kinetics.
oh, yeah, and perks, right? You get
Mhm.
legendary perks.
Yeah. There's still kinetics. I think, I don't know. It depends on the situation, but obviously in a 1v1 gunfight, it's definitely going to benefit you given that extra HP. But of course, customs are going to be probably the most desired here, and customs are now coming in. Going to be on the bottom side of the map towards Pipeline over to Sakura. Now, in terms of customs, I'm quite curious to see what people are going to be bringing out, considering, again, snipers are banned for this event, which, I mean, sniper has been a pretty big meta as of recent in terms of the Call of Duty scene. Just because of the fact the DOQ, HDR, ZRG, all one tap to the head. So it's so dominant at ranges. But I want to see if anyone's going to make a kind of a play of making an AR that's built for sniping. Because, I mean, there's no real gun that's going to be used for ranged fights. Everyone's going to have to be pushing close range. Make it a bit more of a risk in terms of their playstyle. Currently, I've seen
Surely, yeah.
Demure possibly going to drown in slot 1. Watching a whole team go past in the ski lift, a bit interesting. But yeah, for the most part, we're going to be probably not going to see much, to be honest, in terms of this early game. That has been happening the past 2 days in terms of this event. But later on, it's going to be pretty hectic.
Obviously, those late zones are, you know, where the action is all stacked. But, you know, for every team that picks up a couple kills early on, those are, you know, 10 points per kill. Those are huge. And, you know, gives you a bit of more relaxed atmosphere coming to those late stages, even if you don't third party every single team and if you don't get every single kill there is. Taking a look at Team G, they're just running around, cruising, chilling in vehicles. They've killed the full team, I believe, so far. They have at least 4 kills in total.
Yeah,
So
so
they
already
should
racking up some
be-
kills, which is obviously going to be a main point of stay. Point system-wise, I mean, placement does matter, but of course you want to be benefiting a lot with the kills. So in terms of first place, it's going to be about 15 kills, which is a pretty significant margin in terms of what's generally expected from the standard. Mostly you see 10 kills first place, that's it. But with the 15 points, well, 15 kills worth of first place, definitely placement is going to be something that's very key for a lot of these teams. And so that's probably why we're seeing a lot more passiveness for these players. But yeah, kills are definitely still going to be mattering. We've seen some teams play a bit differently. They play passive all the way up until endgame and get a lot of kills. Some teams just play full hog, get all the kills early game and just take that risk and then come into the endgame with like 30 kills. So it's just a question of differentiating those teams and which one's more successful strategy.
Exactly. So it comes down to the, you know, the team strategy and what kind of playstyle you go for. Are you gonna take the risk early on and, you know, fight with no loot almost and go for the kills, or are you gonna play the long game and potentially fight for those 150 points for the first placement? We'll see how things are gonna go for the teams here, though. The airdrops, the majority of them have been picked up.
Yeah, we've had them scattered around. Interestingly enough, though, one of the teams I have mentioned that have been doing pretty well, and one Series 9, I believe, is FG. They have been wiped pretty early on here. They're going to be the first team wiped. That's over to Team G, I believe you mentioned. Did actually manage to wipe them, so that's a pretty big loss to them. They only had 5 kills dying out, so now the question is, can they recover? FG has been a team that's been a sore in a lot of people's rear end for the most part in terms of the previous events. They always come for the third party and always punish you if you're taking a fight for too long. But now they're going to be the ones getting punished. Early outing.
That's indeed unfortunate. We did have a small fight between Team A and which other team was it? Not quite sure. And I believe it was, but Team A lost 2 players, immediately fell back. They did manage to revive their teammates. One of them landed over at Black Market, the other one not quite sure where to go. The 2 players that did manage to stay alive moving towards an airdrop that's already been opened. Are the tanks allowed in this
tanks would not be allowed.
Okay.
So yeah, in terms of rules, it's kind of more or less standard in terms of the whole thing. It's probably the most interesting one is going to be classes being banned. But probably one of the big changes that we have seen in terms of this event is that we have seen a lot more spotters coming in, which is a class that you don't really ever expect to be played. But it has been used pretty aggressively, and it's worked out with a lot of players for Series 10. We did see Ali, that's being Father Ali, in AMK, which is going to be slots 14. Managed to get pretty much a 3k off of Risen, all with 1 spotter, and then wiped the 14 with the 4th person killed off with an AR, which was a tremendous play, probably the best play we've seen, I think I've ever seen personally, in terms of a spotter. But, I mean, it's interesting to see the meta changes in terms of the rule sets and how people adjust to that. But, I mean, it's all part of the course.
Indeed. Obviously, you have to adapt to the rule set. Team A and Team N are gonna battle it out for this airdrop here. All 8 players are in close proximity.
And that beautiful nade coming from Ali, immediately punishing them down to 2 already. That is all about timing. Unfortunately, stood next to the vehicle. Took a lot of damage there. Demure and Chiz gonna have to back up. No kills to speak of. Claude and the rest of Risen actually struggling as well. Gonna be dying out a lot. NK on the chase, but Nagdy's the only one with snowboard, looks like. Wiggly's chasing. I think they're going to be just fine, but Risen down to 2 again. Risen's been struggling pretty heavily. Again, a team that's going to be focused on by a lot of players. And only left to Raph has the snowboard outside his zone. Question is, can he make it in? Ooh, different team as well. That's going to be Redmond coming in. No snitch already on 5 kills. Currently, I think maybe the team... leading team in terms of kills, that's going to be Red Moon. 11 kills on the board. And possibly get the 12 kill here. Indeed, they do. But, I mean, so far we're seeing a different playstyle. Red Moon going more aggressive early mid-game. All the other teams kind of playing a bit more passive. They're going to be definitely leading the charge.
Well, how many kills do they have? They had like 12 kills already?
Yeah, so Red Moon on a very... I mean, yeah, 12 kills. Nobody is even coming close to that. A lot of teams still even have 0. Nobody's really playing on the aggressive routes, but this is pretty good for Red Moon. Luckily, again, it's only a 1-day event in terms of how the prize pool works. So, I mean, as long as you do really good in 1 day, you get a good chunk of that prize pool.
That's true indeed. That's true indeed. And, 12 kills are the equivalent of, what, 3rd place? So
yes.
That's... They're having a good start here.
Yeah, and then also we got Team 7. That's going to be down to a duo. Maxwell going to unfortunately choke that left with Zeta, I believe it is. Currently them as well. Going to be on 11 kills though. Unfortunately, they have been losing a lot of players. Going to have to come back, get some loot. And that's going to be probably costing them a bit of time. Though Redmoon still with a full squad with 12 kills. They can play a bit more aggressive here. Grab some more kills to add on to them. They're going to be rushing straight into Peaky Blinders. That's in the standoff. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Legend with high ground. No snitch actually going to find 1. Looking for more.
Important kill right there.
Yeah, and then also the fact that Revive just came in, so that's perfect timing for Peaky Blinders. The heat is going to come straight back. That means more kills opportunities for Red Moon.
That's true. They're trying to fall back,
Airdrop has been
Peaky
delivered.
Blinders, but they do have the Team N flanking them from behind. I'm not quite sure if Team N even knows that, but surely they heard the shots over and send off.
The last revived flight will
I mean, unfortunately, did just lose Zombie Duck right after the Revive Flight 2. We got a minute until that. It looks like they're just fine. And actually going to take his own fight. Grabs a member of ROG, gets the shotgun shot. And so far, Remun looking like the strongest team out of the lobby.
True. They've lost one player, though.
Indeed. But yeah, they're still playing with the aggression. Look at Legend. Very split away from his team. Spotter coming in now. Needs to be careful. Now just
Those are-
taking his time.
Those are the kind of fights where you need the sniper, right? Those kind of ranges. Are you very comfortable with an AR in those kind of ranges? I don't know.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Snipers are banned. So, I mean, you have to play full close range or mid-range. But you just need to be careful because, again, obviously close mid-range, that's going to be a bit more risky than sniping ranges. So, I mean, it's all just ARs and hoping that you get the better advantage. But they're going to be running straight into AMK. And that may cost them. Indeed, it does. Legend down on the zone gets Andrew, but no snitch down as well. Left so just one. Actua, the last remaining team are playing. Gleason and Remun's quickly wiped. All that aggression out at 10th place. That's the thing. Out of 12 teams. Kind of unfortunate ending for them.
That's indeed unfortunate, but you know, that's the price you gotta pay when you pretty much pick every single fight you find in the map. But huge plays there from, is that Team AMK?
Team AMK. So Team AMK was the one that just wiped them. That's going to be Team 14.
Yep.
Currently, though, I mean, another team just got completely wiped as well. That's Team 9. I believe 90 roll, which got, I think, second placed on Series 10. They did pretty well, but unfortunately, early ending for them. But I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks for Redmond. They had everything going for that. They had a lot of kills, but again, placement matters heavily in this event. So dying out at 10th place basically just cost them a lot of points, and all that momentum just for nothing, pretty much. Sure, that amount of kills is cool, but those placement points would have literally doubled their points. So, I mean, it's a big cost, but yeah, it sucks. Oh, wait, what? Zombie Duck's still up. No, they came off revive, but not anymore, actually. Nope, they're still dead. 8th place. I thought they were wiped. Came off revive, rather. But one team that I did have my eyes on is going to be Risen. That's Team 5. Somehow racked up 12 kills without me noticing. And looking like a strong force, rushing through teams. Spotter coming in from lag. Now they're just looking to pick up on anything they can, and they are looking a bit more smarter. They're going to be playing for the placement, staying all together as one. Not having one player flank up too much, holding good positions. So still, they got a lot of spotters getting placed on them. AMK kind of in the same boat, but they have less kills. They're playing a bit more passive. They're waiting for the zone.
That is indeed true, and now, well, we can see the zone has gotten much smaller. The teams have to fight each other because they spot each other, and there's a lot of teams in the mix. The third parties should start to begin now. We do have Team E, which are doing a fantastic job, as you mentioned, as far as kills go, also as far as placement go, because we've seen quite a few teams already fall. And, you know, we'll see how things are going to go from here. Still a couple vehicle movement. That's a very bold move to make, especially if you are the only player left alive in your team, right?
Indeed, yeah. It's going to be really risky, especially at this endgame. You kind of want to jump off a vehicle, get some nice positioning, and Slark actually going to get punished there. Tried to get clawed. He rewinded back, gets into the safety of his team, and immediately dies doing so. But now, currently in the crossfire is going to be Risen up against Team 7. Team 7, of which is going to be punished from zone. They don't really have much to work with. There's going to be Incredibles. In front of them directly is going to be the dude. Chris going to go down to zone. Left to just one, and that's going to be the wipe on Incredibles. 13 kills, but I mean, at least a 5th place, so that's a decent amount of points. But not as much as they probably would have liked. The Peaky Blinders still left on the vehicle. Surprisingly enough, may get top 2 if he just lets it wait out. And quite quickly is AMK. Putting some pressure on the dude. The dude now going to get possibly sandwiched. Necro down. Grabs one. Left to one. That's Chiz. Focusing on Zin. Gonna be running straight into the hands of Ali. Ali somehow dies. That's a big loss to AMK. Confirmed 2. Nagdi now down. Left to 2 on AMK. Spotter coming in. Gets the kill on Chiz. Now to a top 3. Risen, if they choke this somehow, someway, this would be quite the embarrassment. Necro down. Andrew left. 2 solos versus a full squad of Risen.
It's not looking good, is it? Risen have this in the bag already. All 4 players alive. Quite a few kills as well. And the last player is not even going to try and give them the kill. He's just going to run into the zone. And, you know, that's the best thing you can do. You fought for placement. You got 2nd place for your team. Nicely done. 3 kills on board for him as well. So not a bad game. Not a bad round number 1.
Of course, yeah. The smartest play to make, I mean, go for the placement points. He already lost all his team. Just get those extra points because, again, placement does matter significantly in this event. And at least just try and recover for the next 2 games. We'll have to see if they do. Risen looking very strong in this first game. Claude with the first, with the amount of kills in terms of his team. He's going to have 7 kills, 5 kills to Lag, 3 to Raf, and Zin with 2 indeed to give them a really strong amount of kills, actually. That's going to be a total of 17 kills on the board for the team. A very strong amount considering the lobby size. But I do believe there was a couple teams that did reach somewhere close to that amount. But of course, some teams like Red Moon did die out pretty early. Incredibles got top 5. So there's still a comeback that can be made by a couple of these teams. But it really is a matter of how consistent these teams are over the course of the next few rounds.
That is indeed true. And, you know, you play a BR yourself, right? In a
Yes.
competitive way.
Mm-hmm,
So,
yeah.
as a player, what kind of strategy do you actually go for? Or, like, do you favor, you know, the slow path of waiting for the zone to close in and then pick your fights? Or are you more the aggressive type of team?
Knowing how people play, for the most part, it's best to play a bit more passive. Set yourselves up for positioning, get a ton of loot ready to go, and then play that endgame. Because again, like at that endgame, when the revives were no longer going to be happening, it's all permanent deaths. There was still already 10 teams up. So I mean, pretty much nobody died up until that endgame. So obviously, you're going to get a lot of your kills at that point. So it's not that bad to just stay alive all the way up until endgame. Dying earlier than that is just kind of pointless because you need those kills and you have a higher chance of getting those higher placements if you were to live that long. So with all things said, it's too hard it's too risky to try and take a fight. Some teams have that confidence, but it's high risk, high reward pretty much in terms of that sort of situation if you get any fights early on.
Well, that does make sense, yeah.
But in still, decent amount of kills coming from these other teams. Peaky Blind is going to get 2nd place. They did unfortunately only get 5 kills on the board, so I mean nothing too crazy, but they did get that 2nd place to get those points. 3rd place going to go over to AMK, them of which having 3 kills on every member except for Ali with only 2. So still a decent amount of kills coming in from them, 11 kills. 4th place going to go over to Team 1, which is the Dude, having only 4 kills as well. So not that many kills coming in from the top 5, though 5th place rather is going to be with a decent amount of kills. That's going to be Incredibles. That's with Maxwell with 3, 5 from Chris, Slark with 3, and 2 from Azita to give them a decent amount as well. That's going to be 13. RG, nothing much, 3 kills there. Turbo Esports at least is going to have decent amounts in 7th place. 4 kills from Anali, Aki with 2, 1 each from Rezox and Yuma. Red Moon, again, bit of an unfortunate ending here. Only 8th place. I mean, it's still decent. You can get some placement points, but it's nothing too crazy on what they could have had. They had a lot of momentum coming into this, but I think they just got too overwhelmed. And No Snitch still going to be doing a decent amount of kills. 6 kills over to him. Actual with 4. Legend Risky with 3. And then Zombie Duck with 1. And then as it goes on, at that point, we don't really see much of anything happening for a couple of these teams. Team 9 taking 9th place, fittingly enough. That's going to be 90 roll. A team that's done pretty well. Again, they got 2nd place in Series 10, which was the last day of this event. Still pretty of an early ending, unfortunately for them. Helix with 3-1 and on Hadi alongside RMS. Eric with 2 alongside. Then, I mean, yeah, it just kind of falls apart. It's only 4 kills on Team 3, which is the Dude OS. 11th place going to Team 11, which is Wontons with only 2 kills. And then FG, a team that's very strong, dying out dead last with only, I mean, still 5 kills considering they're dead last. That's going to be Panchis with 4 kills and then Koost with 1. But I mean, still, they could have had so much more if they stayed alive much longer.
That
Silver.
is indeed true.
So though, kind of everything is what I'm expecting in terms of how everyone's been playing it out. But now the question is anyone going to be switching up, maybe changing a different style? Maybe Red Moon are going to play the same way, go for the high risk, high reward type of play style, which they were playing that round, or they're going to play a bit more passive, go back seats, kind of relax a bit all the way up until endgame, and then fight off when they hold a position down, which is probably what most of these teams are going to be going for. So I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, we do have 1 team that's backed out. So it's getting down to now 11 teams. Not sure which
No,
team that
that's
is.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Which, obviously, with the loss of players, is going to make it a bit easier, well, a bit harder, rather, for any of the teams to try and attempt to catch up in
Find
terms of
kills, yeah.
placements. Yeah. So that's going to be a slight annoyance for a lot of these teams. That did happen the previous days, where eventually, obviously, a couple teams back out by the ending, and then it just makes it incredibly hard for anyone to even make a comeback. But, I mean, who knows? We still have an opportunity. Only one team left. It is auto revive, so that means, again, kills are very easy to come by, but again, it's just high risk, high reward. And I'm not sure how these teams are going to be playing out. But what's your
If
thoughts, Blood, in terms of that?
you know, I think if you are a team like Red Moon, for example, right? They tend to be more aggressive, as we've seen from the first match.
Hmm.
When you find yourself in early game, let's say in a 4v4, okay,
Mhm.
is it not more, thinking long term to get 3 kills and leave the 4th player alive so you can revive his teammates and you can get even more kills afterwards? Maybe later on in the game, but still you're gonna get eventually the kills. Or do you go for the 4 piece and that's it?
For the most part, um, I think they don't take it that deep when it comes to these things. Obviously, when it comes to pubs, obviously you want to farm that. But when it comes to the competitive scene, for the most part, nobody really likes keeping one player up or anything, unless it's a team that's they feel like it's not a threat at all. If it's a team that you
Okay.
don't think it's worth the risk, like chasing one guy all the way up into the end, like for a minute, trying to chase him on a vehicle or something. Unless it's a team that's like really in the way, like they're above you in terms of points, you need to destroy this team, end their lives quick and simple. For the most part, everyone just goes for the kill. They always go and try and get the wipe, unless it's just not really worth the risk. So it's just more or less just it's the risk outweigh the well, does the risk outweigh the reward? Pretty much, they'd always go for that point.
That does make sense. We do
But
have 2 teams in dormitory actually fighting it out. It's team number 1 and
yeah, quite quickly, we've lost the team. That simple. Going to be
yeah,
ending it as quick as there. But I mean, yeah, even in that situation, they could have let him go, but wanted to go straight for the wipe. And that's going to be probably the mindset for a lot of these teams. Not wanting to allow any other teams possibly get any extra points. They want to take the points for themselves, not risk it to anyone else. And quite simply put, just wiping them really easily. Just getting them out of the way, not having to worry about them ever again.
that's a
Now,
fairly good strategy as well. We do have a bit of action in Sakura as well.
indeed, it's going to be the Dude OS. So the Dude was the team that just got the wipe onto a team in Dormitory. Now it's going to be their secondary team taking on Sakura. Now, are they going to be as successful? I'm not sure, because they're down by 2 already. And a 2v what looks to be 3. Still a doable fight, but currently Wantons are going to be really close by. Chris as well got to get a kill on Aki. I believe that's going to be Turbo Esports up against, I believe to be Incredibles, though. Thanks God, going to be now getting chased by a full 3-man. Isn't going to be looking good. Amir going to be leading the charge.
That's
Nearly
it for
got
him.
Eden. Gets Eden.
Ooh,
Somehow, with an M16 out of all things, but does go down eventually. Nearly got 2. That probably shouldn't have happened. Luckily, doesn't allow him to confirm the kill. Left to just 1, and that's going to be Alan leaving the area. Doesn't want to be involved. Keep the team alive in the 40 seconds until the revive. Oh, and also we've got ROG. That's going to be Team 10. Looking to third party the fights over in Dormitory. That's all we do. Have still Turbo Esports taking a lot of fights now. Down by 2. Slark and Atiza up against Razox and Yuma. 2v2. 2 formidable teams. So Team 7, that is going to be Incredibles. They did well. They got top 5 last round with a pretty considerable amount of kills. I believe 13. If they get wiped now, it's going to be risky. It looks like Yuma is going to be back up for Team 13, that being Turbo. More like down. Confirmed at least after revive. Well, before revive, so he is going to come straight back. Now it's just a waiting game. Razox, being patient. Looking to see if we can get a kill here. Spots Slark, just waiting.
ooh.
The patience. Really waiting his time. He knows there's 2 at least. Issue is he has to be careful about any revives landing on him directly. They're going to blow his cover immediately. Thing is, though, I don't know what the flight is. So he is in zone. The revives can land directly on him. He needs to be really cautious about that. Slark going to be shooting. Now, this could be
He's
the
gonna try-
opportunity.
Yeah,
The revive's landed nearby as well. Azita, he's gonna take it. He's not gonna risk it. Chris was right behind. I think he took too long on that. Gonna be dropping spotter. Maybe he'll get lucky. I don't think he will, unfortunately, but I think that may have just been a lost opportunity. I think he could have gone one at bare minimum. But
he still has a teammate flanking them, though. It's
yeah, he is.
Offcial. So...
Bro, my bad. Fuck, I forgot. There you go. You didn't miss too much.
He's picking up the fight as well. It's a 2v4 actually for him, and he's still going for the fight. Now trying to fall back. Oh, he's gonna get shut down.
Dude, it's gonna be risky now. We also got ROG currently struggling. Gonna be possibly losing another player. Bahadur, last remaining. 55 HP. Lucky though the snowboard working. Doing him some favors. Gonna be managing to back out. Left to 30 seconds till the revive. I think there's not gonna be much of a chase coming in. Should be just fine. He has a lot of distance. They do have snowboards, but I doubt they're going to be able to catch up. Maniac now with a motorcycle. Will be significantly faster than snowboard, but still 18 seconds on the clock, and I think Bahadur is going to manage.
They're closing in. They're closing in on him fairly quickly.
Surprisingly enough, they caught 5 seconds though. All he has to live is 2 more seconds. He should be just fine. The question is now, is he going to go for the kill? Or is he just going to go try and back up? No, he's Maniac. Stalling for too long. Got to be running straight into Demure, though. The line's right off the revive, but at least his team's back in. Could have been worse. Lots of revives coming in, but again, still kind of passive. Risen going to be still outside the zone. They're just going to go for chip, waiting the long game. Though, quite quickly, the dude OS grabbing some kills. Disary, gonna immediately grab a quick 2-piece. Not gonna wipe entirely, but tons of loot to work with for the team. He confirmed it after the flight, just to be a bit more punishing. Wanton still has 1 up. They're gonna be in Sakura. Actually, even 2 up. End's gonna be further back. Amir's still in Sakura. Needs to be looking for a weapon, trying to back up. Though it doesn't want to be feeding kills too much. But though Maxwell with a shotgun, gonna get a key. Slock down. Quite quickly trading. Yuma down now. Razox and Ali up against a 3-man. Put some pressure. Razox kills himself to own spotter. But he killed someone with him, at least. And that's the punishment of a spotter. If it's incorrectly placed, you can kill yourself doing so. But at least he took 1 down. But, I mean, is it really worth? Because they're going to res him. Now Ali's going to be backing up.
Yep. I think that's a smart thing to do as well. Just go for placement. Yeah, at that point.
The thing is, though, they're feeding kills. That's the issue. They're giving away kills, which they really shouldn't have. They only have 3 on their board, and Ali can't drive, seemingly. But, I mean, yeah, still, that's just the thing. They need to be careful, because with it being auto-revive, not that many teams, but the areas of where to loot quickly just shrink in terms of where you can land. Sometimes you're going to land somewhere and it's immediately already fully looted, nowhere to work with. And then you just have to struggle trying to find a gun. But they just have to be careful about reserving their lives and just not risking too much. So ROG still on the noses of the dude. That's going to be slot 1. Chasing down slot 10. Quite split. Attack power. Up against a 1v4. Shoot more like, get more like the fastest defender placement I've ever seen in my life. But let's go down. Gonna get the res back up. He is coming back off revive, luckily. Turbo actually gonna be running straight into no snitch though. Luckily off the revive at least. It's perfect timing. A lot of these fights have concluded with the teammates coming straight back in, but then the last remaining player did come back immediately. So it's lucky timing. Zin actually gonna find a member of Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders down to 2 even. Not looking strong. They are going to be very split though, so it looks just fine for in terms of placement. They're going to not risk too much. They just need to be careful though. ROG looking a bit more stronger. We haven't seen much of them. ROG's, in terms of my experience with them, is that they've been a very inconsistent team. Sometimes they can pop off immensely, get 20 plus kills easily, even as a trio. But most of the times they don't really do anything, unfortunately. They don't really go pretty aggressive, but this may be the case. Legend does get 1. They are pretty split. The other 2 did go land somewhere else in terms of revive. John and Fincher left.
The revive flight will arrive in 1 minute.
They have 2 other teams nearby, so they need to, you know, be careful. I doubt they're going to be able to revive their teammates. I think they were split up, so it's going to be difficult. Overtown is the place of action right now. 3 teams over there. We do have near launch base as well.
Yeah, lots of teams just, for some reason, are over here. Peaky Blinders and AMK alongside Risen. Now, Risen looking for a quick escape. Claude barely alive with that muscle car, though quickly. The dude West trying to put some pressure on Zin. Zin incredibly low, needs to drop that medic. Somehow still standing. Is going to eventually fall apart. Left to Claude, luckily escaped. Slark as well solo. Redmoon kind of nearby, shooting at Claude, though he looks to be just fine. Though unfortunately, Burnett, that's of the Dude West, going to be going down. Revive going to come in just a second, though. Vivant down, right after the revive, confirmed away. Now they're going to be permanently a 3-man for at least 2 minutes. That's just the unfortunate thing. It's all about timing. If you die, you die, but the question is when you die. At least when how close to a revive. MK is still playing passive though. Necro gonna be live, coming back with the rest of his team. Morlock though, as well as the dude, down to 2, down to 1 even. Maniac last remaining. He's all the way over in Overgrown, leaving away. Has the snowboard. Quite a few people around him though. The dude's been looking strong. They've already got 13 kills. And this has been the worst situation they've been in so far, but luckily for them, there's a distraction coming in. Incredibles now up against Wontons. Wontons lost 1. They've traded now. 3v3, but Wonton's incredibly low. They need to heal. Looking for a second, but Eden down. Even alongside that, Ania left to just 1. And all that remains, Necro dead. Quite quickly as well. We actually have a fight near launch base as well. That's going to be Peaky Blinders, Red Moon, AMK, and quite quickly it's left to just 1 for at least Peaky Blinders. AMK still low as well. They've only got 3, but they're playing incredibly passive. Just third person peeking, hoping for the best. Ali, of which is going to be one of these players. Hopefully doesn't get baited by a trickster. Looks just fine. The Dude OS as well coming up. We're seeing a lot of fights where there's multiple teams involved, but we're not seeing much of any wipes. We've only seen 1 wipe so far, and that was Dormitory.
Yep. So it's been, you know, all the teams, the last player has been very, very cautious, has been very, very careful, and has managed to, you know, squeeze his way away from danger. So far it's worked, sometimes even reviving his full team as well.
Yeah,
it's worked out well for the majority of the team so far.
Yeah, it's been incredibly lucky in terms of a lot of these teams. I wouldn't expect a lot of these teams to get away with so easily. And so cautiously, though. Isn't Ali meant to be nearby? Ali's still holding. He's so close. Spot actually hits him, and he's going to get shot from Red Moon. That might give away his position. He needs to be careful. Spotter once again drops. But Net's directly next to him. He can smell Ali. Ali now going to finally take the fight. Hit through 120, but actually it's going to be Zombie Duck with a spotter killing him alongside a follow-up. And quite quickly, Red Moon now have a perfect position. They can immediately put some pressure on them. The Dude OS, I think, won't be as lucky here. Legend down, actually. They're holding this one building pretty well. But Isorally needs to heal. Holland. Thanks God with a flank. He has a bit of an off angle.
Legend's going to get picked up in time, and now it's a 4v3 once again.
Yeah,
make it a 4v2. Yep.
And this is now rough. They haven't got any easy way to rotate. Left to Thanks God. He has to rotate outside his zone. He hasn't got much of cover. He's going to be running straight into Risen, in fact. And this may be the wipe for another team. And actually, we got... Another team did just get wiped. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, thanks God. It's going to manage to survive somehow, but he's going to get chased surely, right?
Yeah, somehow, some way. But Lag is going to quickly spot him and does get the wipe there. So left to 8 teams. Still surprisingly enough, we're not seeing that many kills. I mean, generally it's a bit more spread out for a lot of these teams. But rather, actually, the dude's still with 14. But they are kind of struggling. They have been losing players as soon as they come off revive. And that's costing them a bit of time. But now Lag actually picked up quite quickly. And
yeah, he wasn't in between 3 other teams. And he was alone. Absolutely no teammates around him to help him. And now it's going to be 3 teams battling it out. It's J, D, and N.
Indeed. This is going to be rather the second to last revo. So this is where it's crucial. You need to keep your whole team up. Can't lose many players, otherwise it's going to be near impossible to find any loot to work with. Red Moon, looking a bit strong. They've got 10th place. Well, 10 kills at least. But now I think they're being a bit more reserved, and they're not punishing themselves as much as they did last round. Holding the edge of zone and basically get gate kept by AMK. And speaking of AMK, they're directly in front of them. RG nearby as well. Morlek gonna get a pistol kill into Chris. Yeah, I think more of these teams are now going to be just focusing on trying to position themselves well. I mean, currently a lot of teams are already in zone right now. Don't have a lot of movement going for Risen, though. They need to rotate into zone. So is the dude. Incredibles alongside Peaky Blinders, all coming in from Overgrown side. Now, this may get a bit clogged up. I'm quite curious. Risen going to be running straight into Turbo Esports. Turbo Esports fully aware of this.
What's the team name for team number 2?
Team number 2 is going to be Peaky Blinders.
Okay, so Peaky Blinders, they're still using the same strategy. They have one player just running around or driving around. That's the second player. And the rest sticking together pretty much. So obviously going for placement and picking up any kill they can get along the way with the trio, with the 3 musketeers that are battling it out on the battlefield.
Okay, Risen looking incredibly bad. Their gang gate kept heavily. But Claude looking really strong. He got given a defender by Aki. The question is, can Claude maybe make this recovery? Somehow, some way. I feel like he could. Does have the snowboard. Lag as well, somewhat behind. Claude holding his own. Already with 3 kills. Made something out of nothing. You really shouldn't have been able to escape this. Chiz will get beamed as well. Coming from zone, the dude. As well, them with a lot of kills. The Morlek as the defender. So he needs the assistance of his team. It's a 4v2. They have the player advantage, but Risen are going to be backing up. Chiz gets punished for being further back, though they immediately trade for lag. Confirming Chiz. 3v1. They cannot let them res. Maniac going to be pursuing. Chases him down, going to confirm it. Now Claude is all that remains. Slark is well solo. In the middle of the ice. Now focusing on Claude, and Claude is wiped. Maxbell gets that kill. Chris in trade. And unfortunately now Risen. Of course, the team that just did incredible first game. They won the last round with over 20 kills. No, actually no, 18 kills. I'm going to be dying out pretty early. Going to get 8th place. Not sure how many kills they got. I think they got less than 10 even. So I mean, again, it's all about the consistency. But Nagady going to get quite a lot of kills for himself. 8 kills on the board currently for the team. And AMK might pick up Slark as well. Slark, ratting around, has the defender ready. Immediately punished. Now, currently, there's only 2 teams now that have a full squad of players. That's going to be Red Moon alongside AMK. But as soon as I say it, Nagdy is going to go down. This might be Resable. It depends on how this gets played out, but who do you think currently is going to be taking this victory? In terms of how these players are playing it out, their positioning.
Red Moon might fancy a push here and, you know, get the kill confirmed and Nagdy. Yeah, they're pushing. And
Yeah,
that's going to be
Ali.
almost a wipe. They get two down. Necro, the only one alive, and Ali for AMK.
Yeah.
Both
Necro
of
punish.
them
Actually,
very
must
bad
pay, maybe get a 4K.
Down to the last 5
So let's see AMK get 4K'd often. Andrew in the smoke, playing his time. He's playing the smarts. He's currently pinched. That's the issue now. As soon as he runs out of smokes, he's screwed.
Yeah,
and I
he's
think
dead.
at least this will give the opportunity that a different team will be ending the reign of AMK, wiping them out. And surprisingly enough, he escaped it. I don't know how he did, but Zombie Duck dead.
It's-
So he's getting shot heavily. Andrew barely escaping. The Holger beams coming in. Surprisingly out maneuvering it.
Somehow staying alive. Yeah, this is
Your teammate is
15 HP, and finally they put an end to that. But, you know, he tried to play the time.
almost ready.
Absolutely nothing he could have done better there. He was surrounded by 3 to 4 teams. Had nowhere to go. On the
They are
other
going to be
side,
taking
there
4th
was
place
his
though, so
own
it's still
stuff.
decent. Top 5 positioning is definitely going to be crucial. But, I mean, still out of this fight, currently every team is a 3-man showdown. So now it's going to be a 3v3v2. More like with a beautiful little defender play.
Zone is collapsing.
Very close up to Peaky Blinders. Now the thing is, I think Red Moon have a perfect spot. They can easily third party this as long as they don't choke. And Actuate is going to be going down. Raze as well. Left of Avant, the last remaining player for Peaky Blinders. Zone closing in as well. They need to run into Red Moon. Playing that rewind. It's Legend. And I think Vivant's going to go down to zone. It's going to be a 3v2 now. It is. Vivant down to zone. 3v2. Red Moon. No snitch and Legend. Immediately punished. No snitch. Beamed off the rock. Well, off the truck. Left to just one and more. It's just done so quickly. And that's going to be the wipe onto Red Moon. And a first place over to the dude. Which have been looking pretty strong. They had a lot of kills very early on. Racked it up. They were struggling a bit mid-game, unfortunately. They were losing a lot of players. As soon as they came off revive, they immediately died again. Last one remaining. But they recovered it all the way up into the end and took the victory.
A deserved victory as well. They got quite a few kills. What is it? 21?
21, I believe, indeed. It's still a very considerable amount of kills. Great stuff to them. It's going to be the highest kill count we've seen so far. But again, yeah. So Maniac with 7 kills, 6 coming in from Morlek, 4 to Demure, and Chiz with 4. Very strong amount of kills, very consistently done. I forgot how many kills they had last round. Actually, no, they did live up until endgame. I know that. But unfortunately,
they didn't have this many kills.
Yeah, they had nowhere near this many kills, but they did get at least the placement points, which again were pretty important. I think they got 3rd place, if not 4th. So still really good on placements. They've won it and had the previous game on a top 5. So I mean, still pretty well. 21 kills is definitely going to recover them for the previous game in terms of their kill count. But again, all about consistency. Are they going to continue with this pretty good spree on the 3rd game? We'll have to see. Still, nevertheless, Red Moon as well been looking a much better game from them. They did die out really early on with a good amount of kills, but now they're going to be recovering it 2nd place this time with the good amount of kills. So Legend going to be with 2, Fort, Zombie Duck, No Snitch with 3, and Act with 5. Still really strong amounts coming in for the team. 14 kills, I think, near enough the same amount of kills they had last game, but this time with 2nd place. So beautifully done.
That's huge, yep.
Oh, early.
Whoa.
Speed running this one.
We're wasting no time on this one. Okay.
Want to get it done and over with, so I want to see who's going to take the victory and give me no chance. But Peaky Blinders were taking 3rd place there. I'm not entirely sure what the kill count was, but still. Not too bad. Risen did die pretty early. I didn't check their kill count. That's the thing I'm quite curious about, because Risen, of course, they won the 1st game. They had a good amount of kills, 18 kills. But they did die out pretty early on in the 2nd round. So it's possible for recovery. I didn't see FG do much of anything, so I think they either got wiped or they didn't show up after the 1st game. So yeah, I think they were the team that actually didn't show up since the after the 1st game, because they did die out really early on. So I think they just threw in the towel and just gave up. But now all that remains is, I think the dude have an opportunity here. As long as they stay strong, they win this next game with a considerable amount of kills. They can do it. Risen have an opportunity.
2nd and 3rd place, correct?
What was that? Sorry.
They've gotten 2nd and 3rd place so far.
I think 4th place and 1st. So they just won the last round. I think they were 4th, if not 3rd.
Are we talking about team number 2? Slot number 2?
Oh, Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, my bad.
Yeah, team 2 is Peaky Blinders. They got 2nd place in the 2nd round, yeah, and 3rd place last round. So they've been doing pretty well in the placement as well. Of course, a lot of placement points is going to be crucial here. Again, 1st place is worth 15 kills, which, considering the lobby size, is pretty significant. And so the question is, can they keep that going in terms of their point system? The thing is, I haven't really seen them with kills. And that's the thing. I know they didn't get much of any kills. I think they only got 5 kills this 1st game when they got 2nd place. I'm not sure how many kills they got the 2nd game. So, I mean, yeah. Going for point...
Less than 10 kills.
Yeah, so, I mean, placement points, they're good. They're great to go for, but you need to also assist with the kills. And surprisingly enough, they are going to go dorms, which... I mean, a lot of these Middle East teams love dorms, and they're actually going to change their mind, going straight for Ski Town. They have completely gone cold feet on that. They don't want to challenge the dude. But interestingly enough, the dude didn't even go there. They went straight for Ogon and are going to get contested this by a 3-manning Team 7. That's going to be incredibles. So already, this could be beautiful as long as they play their cards right. It's a 3v4. So if the dude loses, it's going to be quite questionable on their end. And Slark are actually going to be rushing straight into some of the players here. Basically putting himself directly into the lion's mouth. Chris. Breaking a window. Just playing his time, but going to be wontons. Losing their 1st player. Pania. First killed. But quickly the trade's coming in. This is going to be in Sakura. Down to a 3v3. Holding windows. Seeing who peeks first. Footsteps next to him. Now Amir needs to be careful because he's got a flank. Ooh, gets one. Hugely played, but he's going to jump straight into another player. Quite possibly. No, he doesn't. He's safe. Now Halland, alongside Thanks God, are going to have to back up. Thanks God's still remaining in the vicinity, but Halland is completely leaving.
Thanks God should be dead here. He's getting chased down, and he does get shut down as well. Halland is going to keep his team alive. He's making his way away from danger, but he's not going to be able to revive any of them.
Yeah, he's just going to have to wait for time. But yeah, an unfortunate off drop, but I mean, as long as you keep the player up, that's all that really matters. It could be worse. Obviously, you can get wiped. Peaky Blind as well, as mentioned, they were doing great on placement. They haven't got many kills, though. They are, unfortunately, duo right now. Lost half their team. Now going to have to just stay alive. Unfortunately, Vivant can't drive a motorcycle. Going to be getting it stuck. Does have a snowboard, though, at least. And Helix going to go down. That's ROG. Now, ROG have been looking decent. They have been getting a decent amount of kills. But again, they're just an inconsistent team. I don't think they did anything significant the previous 2 rounds, but they did do, like, relatively alright.
We surely saw them in the kill feed quite a few times, but I'm not quite sure they did well when it comes to placement.
Indeed. They're just generally inconsistent, but here they come quickly. You're going to be trading. This up against Team 9, which I believe is 90 roll. Ooh, the movement. And that's just the power of a shotgun. You need to outmove her in order to get the one pump successful and make sure that you don't get one pumped yourself. Though Fincher holding a head glitch. Gonna be spluttering himself, hoping to get something. Gonna be backing up. Eric, right there. Punish him quickly. Gonna focus on a confirm. Kills himself even. To his own spotter. So can he possibly get Hattie here? If he got Hattie there, that would have been beautiful.
That would have been a squad wipe, pretty much, no?
Luckily, the Revo flight just came in, so it would have wiped them entirely in terms of that fight. But they do have the Revos coming back in, so at least they would recover and get their lives back in. But still, that would have been pretty big. It would have been probably more likely that we saw ROG come in third party, well, come back as revives and try and challenge it, knowing that 2 are already dead. And here comes Helix now, going to be coming back in. So yeah, 90 roll looking decent. 3 kills. Yuma gonna grab some kills, and Ali as well. That's gonna be up against the dude. This is crucial because the dude actually are gonna be wiped. They've done amazing so far. Now, quite quickly, early outing the last place over for the dude in slot 1. Really unfortunate, and that may have cost them the entire tournament. I think they have. That's probably gone. They were looking strong for a first place, but now that's not going to be much of a case anymore. AMK as well looking pretty strong. They're going to be up against Red Moon. A fight we've seen several times, though. Ali gonna go down to Zombie Duck spotter, unfortunately. Left to 2, though, is gonna get rest by Andrew. Zombie Duck just outside. Legend a bit further back. Basically, it's a 1v3 against the rest, and Zombie Duck does get his confirm going, but does get traded to Necro. Left, a 1v2, and I think Red Moon know what they're gonna do. They're just gonna back up.
Yep.
Not risk much. Gonna get the vehicle and leave. 38 seconds, and it looks like AMK aren't gonna really bother trying to chase. They're just gonna wait for time, play the position, make sure that that loot is secure, and nobody tries to take it away from them. Now the question, I don't even know who to look for. Peaky Blinders have done decent. Again, placements being crucial, but kills not much. RMS trying to take the challenge on Raze, does go down. Confirmed quickly, and Hadi alongside. Left to Helix. Helix away with the snowball, but I believe he's getting chased. 10 seconds on the clock. He should be fine. He has the distance. Yuma is well going to get a kill on Chris, confirming it. And Helix, luckily alive, but he's probably going to get challenged here. I don't think they challenged, actually. Gave up the chase.
No, they're not chasing him, yeah. They're not chasing him.
Yuma, though, as soon as Revive Light comes in, immediately dies away. Bad timing now. Gonna have to wait 2 minutes until he comes right back in. While the rest of his team actually does come back in. So that's actually kind of perfect. Lived just barely enough for his team to come back, but now the question is, where are they gonna go? They're challenging directly. This is a big risk. What was the plan?
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think they've started to realize their mistakes. Razox are merely trying to back up out of this, but still, they're basically about to give 90-roll a bunch of free kills. Anali looking for guns. Aki a bit further back. So it looks like Peaky Blinders looking to get involved. Helix going to grab one. And quite quickly, Peaky Blinders falling apart. Ray's on 1 HP.
Engaging the enemy.
Loving that too. And quickly taken down and left to Chew. Chew last remaining, and he's in the lion's den. In the middle of everyone. Maxwell dead as well. That's to Eden. Wontons. If somehow Chew makes this escape, I would be shocked. Gonna go straight past. Has the snowboard. Gets tagged. 170 HP. Beams. 17 HP now. Running straight into a key.
Yeah.
All it takes is a stray
going
bullet. He
from
can get
bad to
sneezed on.
worse, yeah.
Necro.
Oh,
Somehow Chew is escaping. He's still getting snowboarded, and unfortunately Chew falls in the water.
Oh,
This
no.
is big. He may have been spotted.
Engaging the enemy.
he's going
Luckily-
to survive this.
Surprisingly enough, yeah. Gets the escape. And currently, luckily for him, Turbo Esports have made a distraction. Ali as well going to get a kill. That's on Thank God. Now we find the defender. Helix does get the better hand though. Left to 1 on Turbo Esports, and they're still alive. Razox did play back. Now just going to have to wait the 12 seconds. RG taking the same fate as alongside Anya. All 3 going to be the last remaining for the team. Just waiting out, waiting for the revive coming back in. Even that, there's 5 teams that have solos.
Your team
Waiting for the revives back in. Coming back, but Legend immediately going to go down to Zin.
holographic decoys.
Claude is gone. Zin as well. Actua traded. Zombie Duck low. Left to a 2v2. Spotters spammed down. Zombie Duck no stitch. Playing a bit back though. They're giving a lot of room or reason to kind of just beam them like that. That was an accurate beam coming from Raf. Left to no snitch, and no snitch is going to back up. That could have been doable. The thing is though, Risen need this. They haven't done... Well, they didn't do good the second round. RG with the third party. I think they may have just wiped Turbo Esports. Did they? No. I think they just confirmed a knock. No, they came back off revive, killed them. The dude's still watching. But heat down. The movement working beautifully. Over to Raze. Here comes the push. Does go down. And quite quickly loses all the revives coming back from Peaky Blinders. Still left to Chew. Gonna have to do once again what he did just prior and stay alive.
Well, he's pretty much far away from danger, however, is going towards danger right now. It's only going to be a 1v1 if that gunfight ever happens, but still not the gunfight you want to pick when all your team is dead already.
Wedge tank has been dropped.
Yeah. No, Chew, I think you make... I mean, surprisingly enough, he was in the middle of everyone. I'm still shocked on how he escaped that in terms of an outpost. But I mean, if anyone's going to make some sort of escape, it's going to be him.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Tank bar directly ahead. RG as well. The rest of RG are going to be fighting.
Ready.
Fincher. Running straight up to RMS. Somehow still alive. Does go down. Now Takbar is the last remaining for his team. Doesn't want to take the fights against Chew. He wouldn't want to. Too much risk. But currently, RMS still on 7 kills. 14 kills on the board right now for Team 9. Team 9 is going to be 90 rule. Getting the res on Eric. Looking really strong. 14 kills. But still, a lot of players still up. Again, 10 teams still. Only 1 team's been wiped so far. That, of course, being the one team that would actually be likely to win this if they kept this going. But
Yep.
unfortunately, it isn't going to be the case. But right now, who do you have your hopes up in terms of who would probably win this, considering the probably number 1 team just got wiped really early on?
I think Peaky Blinders, so slot number 2 is, depending on what kind of placement they get here, they should be a contender for at least top 2, because, again, they got 2nd and 3rd placement, with a few kills as well in the mixture, so it's not looking very bad for them. Red Moon, though, they've been getting a lot of kills, obviously not a good placement in the first round. 2nd round was much better. We'll
And
see
yeah,
how 3rd round is going to go.
Peaky Blinders, though, they're struggling. They just keep finding different teams, though, in between 2. Even that 3 teams somehow staying alive. AMK gonna grab Slark. That's gonna be Ali.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Chew. But he can probably still just knock onto Max Bell. Struggling to get it, does get it. Chris directly in front of him, though, and quickly beams Chew. For the 3rd time this round.
Yeah, once
Gonna be
again.
last remaining for the team. That's all he's doing. He's not even attempting to get in a gunfight. He's not gonna regroup with any of his teammates. He's just staying alive.
Yep, that's pretty much what they've done in every single round so far. They've had one player running around, just pretty much scrolling the map, running away from danger, and 3 of them actually going for the gunfights. I don't know how smart that is when you're letting, you know, the 3 teammates or jumping directly from the revive, you know, pick up the fights. I don't know how effective that strategy is, but so far it's been working wonders for them.
Yeah, it's worked wonders in terms of keeping them alive, but if we count that in terms of everything, they've basically given away 9 kills worth just because they kept coming off revive. And right now we've got actually Risen versus AMK. Risen looking strong. Got the knock on Necro. AMK as well, I think down to Nagdi. No, Ali actually going to get caught up here. Nagdi does come back off revive. And quite quickly, it's left to only Nagdi off the revive. Luckily out of harm's way. Can't escape entirely, but Claude finding more kills he can find to grab. And this could be Risen's game, and they know they need to go for the aggressive play, and Claude fetching everything he can. Raph with the assist. Already in line, but they need these kills. Again, they did die out pretty early second game. Not that much to placement, not that much to kills. Now this is the game for their recovery. Claude with the beam. And that's not even Claude, that's Raph. Grabs one at this distance is insane. So Lag with the follow-up. Trying to get his first kill. Vivant does go down. Is that the wiper peak blinders? No. That's going to be just another knock for the revives.
Revive flight will arrive in 1 minute.
And quite fast. Risen have taken nuclear plant and torn it to shreds. A lot of teams were here, and it's left to just Risen.
Okay.
Gonna dunk directly onto his head and wiping the dude OS. Now, only 8 teams. Both dude teams are gonna be fully wiped. Now, gonna be only Peaky Blinders. Really, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how Risen play this game out, but right now Risen are really hauling ass. It's only gonna be kind of Peaky Blinders that can pull it up. As long as, I mean, Red Moon haven't gone that much. They're playing a bit more passive. This is the most passive we've seen them in terms of this whole tournament all day. It's only been, ooh, Eric gonna grab Lag. The IGL taken down, though they have traded. Hadi can still get rezzed. RMS with the high ground. He is getting tagged up. Claude gets Helix. Getting tagged up a lot by RMS. Beaming, but isn't going to be fast enough. And RMS currently...
Look at the revives coming in as well.
Yeah, a lot. And RMS Sunade currently has the most amount of kills. Going to get pistol whipped and actually wiped. Yep. Lag taking the risk, landing on him directly, and that's going to be the wipe over to 90 rule. And Lag actually going to get land on himself.
Yeah.
But that is a pretty huge loss. They had a lot of kills. RMS alone had 10, the highest amount of kills we've seen from a singular player. Ali going to go down to Eden. Risen need to be careful here. They've got 15 kills, a very large amount of kills. But down to 2. They've given up all their loot.
Raph is still going for the gunfights as well.
He still wants it. He wants the smoke.
He wants it, but I don't think he's gonna be able to achieve much there. You know, the opposing team is not even in a position where he can get the finish, the kill confirm, even if he knocks somebody down. So it's, I don't know, taking shots like that, you only make a target out of yourselves because there's a lot of teams in near proximity. So you need to be very careful.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, that's the thing when it comes to those ranges. At that point, you can just kind of choose some damage, try and see if you can maybe tag them up, see if you can maybe get one of them was low when you get a lucky knock. Because again, snipers being banned, you can kind of take these risks at ranges. Though John with the beam, probably going to get Zin. And Claude does go down, Risen. Endgame, once again, going to be losing a lot of their players. Necro, though, down. That to the spotter. And ROG looking good. 18 kills, somehow. Again, the most inconsistent team in the game. Pulling something out. Final round, wanted to make it their last hurrah. They're playing it smart though. They have the building all together. Lag on top. He hasn't got any loot to work with. He only has 2 pistols. He has the entire team of Turbo Esports below him. He can't regroup to Raph nor Zin. Lag is basically going to be done for. There's a bunch of boxes in front of him, but he has to jump down to go get them. There's still a lot of players that do have full squads up.
Oh.
Lag peaked a bit too long there. It's going to be Peaky Blinders, Red Moon, and ROG that currently still have a full team up. Zin does go down. That's bad. Immediately confirmed. So Red Moon might be in a predicament. Caught the eye of Turbo. Ali with the HS. Spotter. Why would you drop a spotter inside? Oh. I think Ali could have done something there. It was a 1v, I think, 2. Indeed, but no snitch here. It's a third party. Grabs the knock that was originally Ali's. I think that was a bit of a bad play for him. Spottering could have just went for the one pump and hoped for the best. But we running straight into a... Oh, the beams. Can he outdo No Snitch? No, he does not. No Snitch is simply faster. Toby Sports only on 7 kills, 3 manning. Peaky Blinders with a full squad. No Snitches. Well, Red Moon rather is still. Lag finally goes down. Left to Raf. Okay, out of this whole thing, Blood, what is your thoughts? Who do you think is going to be taking this victory?
Overall, or in this
in this last round? In this last round, 4 teams remain. A lot of players are for teams.
I think Red Moon, they have this, yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't clutch this. It's not even a clutch at this point.
I would agree. I think Red Moon are in a very strong position. I feel like they're going to be hungry. They haven't done well in terms of the placement for the first round. They really want to recover that round, but unfortunately they're quite losing players. So Peaky Blind is getting shot from the back, and that's big. Left to just 1. Raze running straight into the mouths of Red Moon, and Red Moon don't even realize the blessing that they just received. Gets the kill on Shu. Raze backs up. Has that ninja. Gonna run straight into Raf, though. Raf, PDW at that range isn't going to do anything. Raf does get that free kill. Still, 1v2v4. If Red Moon somehow throw this, it's going to be real questionable.
They're pushing as well. They're feeling confident. Obviously, who wouldn't?
She was Razox getting tagged from the wall. Nade coming in, I think. Gets him, has to just come out. Now it's just 2 solos. Aki and Raf against a full squad of Italians. Red Moon. Aki. Zombie Duck right here. Inside the building. Needs to heal as well. Playing the smokes. Here comes Zombie Duck. Gets 1. That's the opening. There's 1 on his roof. He doesn't realize it. He needs to heal. Gets shot in the back. Now it's Raf in 1v3. It's possible. But he's going to go for it. He's not going to die to zone. He's going to take this serious. He's going to attempt the fight, but he has no cover to work with. And is getting immediately beamed, immediately punished, and can't do much. No snitch. Finds the kill once more. And that's going to be Red Moon taking the 3rd and final round. I feel like this could have been... I think this may be Red Moon's. It may be. I forgot. Well, to be fair, Risen have a lot of kills. That's the thing. They have 2nd place and a lot of kills.
That's true. They had 1 player with 10 kills, right?
Wait, did they? I didn't even check.
Who was the player with 10 kills? Was it Lion Rick?
RMS. They got wiped by Risen in Nuclear Plants. That was part of the 90 rule. But still, Risen had a lot of kills. Last time I checked in Nuclear Plant, they had 15. So obviously they probably accumulated a bit more, but I mean, that endgame was pretty rough on their end. They had lag split up away. They already lost 1. So it was just basically 2 people that can hold it out. Zin died pretty early on in that endgame, so it was just left to Raf to basically just play for the placement, get as much he can, and then maybe get some kills here and there. But I don't think he got much of any kills. So I think they're around 15, 16 kills. Still, Red Moon, though, looking really strong. They didn't drop a single player up until that very end.
Yeah.
And they've done well both games. They got 2nd place last round. They got 1st place this time.
The first round they got a few kills, like what, 15-ish kills, but
15 kills ish, I think it was. Yeah,
and
the placement was bad.
Place, it was 8. Yeah, not optimal, but still 2nd and 1st place in the next 2 rounds. That's huge.
Yeah, so I think this quite possibly has been a Red Moon tournament. I think they may have taken the victory overall. It might be possible. I think they have, though. 6 kills coming in from Zombie Duck alongside No Snitch, 5 to Actua, 2 to Legend. So still a very strong game coming in from them. Bunch of kills coming in, but I would say a bunch of kills from other teams. 19 kills overall for Red Moon. Followed closely behind by Risen. Risen as well. They almost had a player with 10 kills, that being Raf himself. Was with 9, unfortunately just 1 shy. But I mean, again, only 2 of their players didn't really do too many kills, but still a decent amount. 18 kills to boot. But I mean, again, last round they did die early. I don't think with much of any kills they may have. It's going to be close between Red Moon and Risen in terms of this, but I think Red Moon have the upper hand. But still, an amazing play from Raf, tried his best to keep it in for the team, but I mean, it just simply wasn't enough. Did get the placement though, at least. Third place is going to go over to Turbo Esports, which, I mean, we haven't seen much of them. I don't think they've reached like significantly above 10 kills for any of the games. So I think they're trying their best, but they're just not reaching the bar just yet. And unfortunately, that's just going to be costing them a bit. I think they're probably like maybe 5th place, 6th place. But I just don't think they're top 3 by any means. Peaky
No.
Blinders, though, they did do good
I
in
think-
kills this time. I think they have a shot.
They might be top 5 at least, if not top 3. Peaky Blinders now.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in the top 4 range, should be. Either 4th or 3rd. It depends on how far down the dude got shot down, because they did do great the first 2 rounds. Issue is, of course, that 3rd and final round, they died really early on. But yeah, it really depends. ROG, though, out of nowhere, going to be dropping a really high amount of kills. They're going to be a total of 20 kills, which is a pretty significant amount.
That's a
but
lot
I
of
mean,
kills.
yeah, I haven't really kept track of them. I mean, again, we weren't really able to see the second round results much. But, I mean, again, the thing is, ROG, I've casted them a couple times. I haven't seen them too much, but they've just been very inconsistent. That's the unfortunate thing about them. But obviously, if they work together, play hard, they can perform stuff like this, get an amazing amount of kills. 5th place, still decent, but I mean, still a great amount of kills coming in for them, all with similar amount of kills, 3 kills each to John and to Takpa. But then again, 6 kills and 8 kills coming from the other 2 players. It's still a very significant amount. But then, yeah, a lot of these teams do have a lot of players where they just have a significant amount of kills compared to the other players. But generally speaking, ROG doesn't have that as much. Still, though, 6th place going to go over to Team 11, which is Wontons. Nothing crazy coming in from them as well today. We haven't seen much. We've seen some kills coming in here and there, but just nothing too crazy. Then that's just going to be 7 kills. AMK, another team which, of course, have been a very strong team. They of which won Series 10. Unfortunately, I think they just dropped the ball today. I don't think they really popped off. They had good kills, but they never really got the placement going. And that's
Exactly.
going to be what punishes them again. Again, first place is 15 kills. That's a lot of kills worth of points just to not get. And so, of course, getting a first place is a very huge gap between anyone that doesn't even get close to top 5 or top 3 even. So, I mean, yeah, AMK unfortunately going to be dropping the ball. And I think they're not going to be top 5. I think they're maybe 5th place. Somewhere around that region, but I don't know. But even then, following up them is going to be Team 9. That's going to be 90 rule with 8th place. But look at the RMS, the highest amount of kills we've seen all day.
Yep.
10 kills. Had a beautiful
Huge.
play coming in from him, and Yukiplant held his own, got a lot of kills off of it. But unfortunately, with that saying, they still died early. His team's not really going to be doing too much. Hadi with only 4, 2 from Eric, 2 from Helix. He really tried his all. His back must be hurting, but good try from him nevertheless. At least he did a final hurrah, trying to make sure he tried his best. Well, did his best, but I mean, again, only 8th place with not that many kills other than him. 9th place going to go to Team 3, which, I mean, still nothing crazy. 5 kills there. Then as well, Team 7 going to be taking 10th place. They are 3-manning, but I think considering they're 3-manning, they did do decent with kills. They're going to be a total of 9 kills up to them with the 10th place. And then last but not least, the team that was likely to win this if they played it correctly this round, the dude. Unfortunately, not a single kill. Not a single point coming from this round. I don't even think they got a placement point from this. Yeah, really rough.
That was... You know, the hype of them winning potential, the entire thing, fell off really quickly with that
all fell apart.
performance.
And that's obvious as well. That's a Red Moon. The winning team of this round actually was the ones that stopped them. So, I mean, that was a big play from them. Yeah, I think overall that's going to be it today. What's currently your thoughts in terms of everything that you... of course, your first BR tournament in terms of Call of Duty Mobile that you've casted. What's your thoughts to take away from all of that?
I enjoyed it. I'll be honest. I enjoyed it, and I think it's well, a lot more different than multiplayer. But the thing is, the only issue I had is there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players, and I don't know who to take a look at first. You know, and switching between players is not. It's not running that smooth for me, but again, for the very first time, it's I guess understandable. That being said, though, I really enjoyed this. I think it's I've kind of missed it because early in my casting career, I actually started with BR, so BR was my first contact point with casting overall. Not Call of Duty Mobile, unfortunately, it was not out yet back then, but. Yeah, as I said, this is my very first time in Call of Duty Mobile BR. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to doing this a bit more often. Hopefully, I'll get better and, try and give a bit more input. Tonight, you were the one pretty much like what RMS did for his team. That's what you did tonight here in casting, because I was doing absolutely nothing. I didn't know where to look at. Firstly, you were saying I don't even know the team names. I'll be honest with you.
Of course, that just comes with familiarity with the teams and knowing the comp scene.
Yeah, so I'll try to get better. I'll do my homework for next time. But I
course.
surely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's obviously been blast. Obviously, it's nice to have a fresh face coming into casting, and obviously it's great to hear that you've enjoyed it. Of course, obviously it's been a pleasure being the first in terms of Call of Duty Mobile BR, going to co-cast with you. But I mean, yeah, obviously again, much appreciated to co-cast with me, and I think that's pretty much everything for today's event. Again, Red Moon, I'm pretty sure won this overall, but I mean, still, GG's of course to all of the teams, and hopefully I see you again, Blood.
Hopefully, I'm looking forward to this. Next time.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Goro.
No problem. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be it for today. Of course, thank you again to all the teams, the sponsors making this event possible, and of course the staff hosting the event. And that is going to be all for us. Again, GG's to everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care.